life. Share it. I gotta do the thing, you know, like I have a spiel, like that's the difference with the too, that I go live too, I like the fan interaction because sometimes it's good stuff.
Yeah, it seems like you have like a big like you said, a big fan
yeah, it's nice. It's really like what what people are into, like whether they like being in Twitch or whether they like being on Periscope or Facebook. Like it's really I give the option open to everybody. So it's the algorithm. It's crazy, and I'm getting like annoyed. I just post out the other I think that's sufficient for me because I think it was enough for me. But I'll miss it because I feel like I've been doing a lot. Yeah, I feel like I've been like pretty hot and like and then it like dies down and then it's like I'm gonna need a drink. It's just like beats to me right now. Alright, I'm gonna take off mute. I'm gonna play a little intro and then I'm gonna ready? Alright, here we go.
Enough is enough.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Indie Wrestling Corner with another episode of Under the Ropes. I'm your host as always, the queen of the indies, Tiffany, and also the queen of technical issues today. But we're going to have a good time. Actually, I feel like this interview has been coming for a while because this has been something that I've been wanting to do. And it's just, it is. I always have lists of names of people that I need to have on this podcast. And this is like long overdue. So we want some flippy shit. We want some bridges and toes. I'm all about that shit. So here we are. Welcome, my friend Gabriel Skye. How are ya?
What's up? What's going on? I'm here for all that.
Yes, I'm all for all that shit and all that good stuff. So, I love it. But again, like I said, it's been long overdue. I've been really wanting to have you on, so I'm glad that we finally made this happen, that you're here. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you for having me on. It's a pleasure.
Absolutely. Guys, if you're new here to the Under Rope series, here I interview everything independent wrestling, whether it's wrestlers, promoters, referees, backstage. I got you covered. If you guys have any questions for Gabriel, please drop them into the chat. I'm sure he'll be more than happy to answer any of your questions. Also, please share the stream. Let's get some people in here. Let's get this party started. Let's learn a little more. And yeah, so we're going to start it off. It's funny. I got so many like random fan tweets, and usually kind of like I like to start my interviews off a certain way. But I love my fans, so we're gonna start off with some fan tweets out here. So we're gonna start with this. So the fan tweet, shout out to Matthew. He goes, "What and who got you interested in pro wrestling?"
So I've kind of just been wrestling. Kind of just been watching wrestling like my whole life. I think honestly it was my dad that kind of got me into wrestling. He was always a big wrestling fan. He always had like the like Raw on in the background, and my older brother always had like the wrestling games, like the wrestling figures. So it was like I literally couldn't escape it. So I kind of just fell into it. Honestly, it was really just a combination of my dad and then being exposed to The Rock as a kid. I was like, okay, I'm hooked. So that's kind of how it started for me.
That's so cool.
All that way back when.
That's so crazy. So where,
Yeah.
where was it that you decided you're like, listen, like this is what I want to do with my life, and where did you train, all that fun stuff.
Yeah. I honestly, it didn't hit me till I was about like maybe I was about to go in high school. Like, when you're at that age, people are like, okay, you need to start thinking about what you want to do. Like when you leave high school, when you're older, blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, I couldn't really like think of anything else other than wrestling. I was
Right.
like, okay, like this kind of seems like if somebody like CM Punk or somebody like Bryan Danielson could do it, Chris Jericho can do it. These guys all started from the bottom.
Yeah.
How come I can't just start from the bottom? So I was about maybe like 13, 14, and then once I graduated, I went to a school not too far away from here in Long Island. Started training with the Grim Reaper.
Mm-hmm.
Started training with Kona Capuccia. Guys for training me, and that was about August 2016. It's the first time I ever had like a class or a training session. And now 2022, like it's kind of crazy to look back on because it doesn't feel like it was that long ago.
Yeah.
Like we always have like those moments, but like that's always something. It's like, damn, like it still feels like I can remember my feeling like walking into a wrestling school in August 2016. You know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah, those guys they're the reason I'm still doing what I do today. They're the ones that gave me the tools. So thank those guys.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's so awesome. It's so cool, and I love to learn, like like where you got trained, and like it's really interesting to see. And then when you get into the ring with the people you train with, it's got to be something special, pretty much. So
Yeah. Yeah,
it's,
it was always something that like it's like it was always something that like every day that like back then when I was a kid, I was in school or doing this or doing that, like it was always like, okay, I know that once I leave this school, like once I leave or whatever's going on in my life, whatever, like this is only temporary. And I know that, you know, it's for me to get to where I want to go.
yeah,
Like any of the sports that I was doing in high school, I did track, I did wrestling for a little bit. I knew that even if I wasn't like good or like the best or whatever at what I was doing back then, I was like, okay, I know that this is going to help me once I get out of here. So let me focus on that. So that way, it's just another notch in my belt. And, thank God I'm at where I'm at now. Still climbing though,
yeah,
but
yeah. This is why we do these
yeah,
interviews, so we get to learn about you, and And then when you're
exactly.
signed, like be
Oh,
really cool. Be really, really cool. Like I love watching the journeys of
thank you.
all you guys. So, but I always say I'm very selfish. I love watching you guys in the indies. So, I want to keep you all in the
Oh,
indies. So,
of course.
I mean, I want you guys to
It's
get
all
paid.
about-
you know. But so let's move on to another fan tweet. So Robert, he goes, "What wrestlers have been a big inspiration and influence for you?"
So there are a couple of names I mentioned
Yeah.
earlier. Really like with my fandom, I guess you would say, like when I first started, when I was really just like getting into wrestling, just like really just like studying it. His influences were Bryan Danielson, CM Punk, just to name a few. Eddie Guerrero, of course, Hayabusa, Kenta, Jushin Thunder Liger. That style of pro wrestling heavily influenced the way that I would train, the way that I would approach pro wrestling. Even now, those are still things that I go back to and I watch because it's like, okay, like it reminds me of why I first started. It reminds me of why I have like such a passion for it. So those are probably like my biggest influences when it comes to wrestling for sure.
Yeah, yeah, that's so awesome. So I like to ask your guys' opinions. Clearly, I know you. I mean, you've seen me plenty. A lot of shows supporting you, but I like to ask like your opinion because I know you guys are very critical of yourselves. If fans never saw you before, they're watching this podcast for the first time. What is the go-to match that they should watch of yours to become a fan?
Ooh, man. I would say, yeah, like it's hard because like again, pro wrestling, like so many people get very nitpicky with like certain things, but man, I would have to say one of my personal favorites that here will come up to me and talk to me about at shows, or even just message about or retweet or tag me and stuff, is a match that I had with Myron Reed at Pro Wrestling Magic last summer.
Yeah.
And I think that's a match. It's available on Indie Wrestling TV. I believe it's on YouTube as well. But I think that would be a match that if anyone's trying to see like what my work really consists of, the kind of wrestler that I am, I think they would for sure have to check that match out.
Yeah.
And also shout out to Myron Reed, because he's just one of the most talented wrestlers I've ever stepped into a ring with. And yeah, that match definitely has a special place in my heart for sure.
Yeah, no, great matches. Oh, I see all the love in the chat. I'm gonna have to stop for a second because there's so much love. There's so many likes. So you guys are awesome. Captain Dave, how are you? What's up? Larry Legend, how are you? I gotta still have Larry on this podcast. Like, it's mind blowing that I haven't had him on. We're gonna work that out, Larry. I need you to come on here and we need to talk about juicy hot dogs and all that beautiful stuff. So. So he says he's got a bunch of things for you. He loves your match with Dr. Cube from Violence and Suffering. So great. He also says, how is ACH from NYWC Arena?
Oh, ACH, man. Complete honor to step into the ring with ACH again. Back 10 years when I was first really getting into independent wrestling, and I found out about all these people. I was finding out about, the El Genericos and the Kevin Steens and the Adam Coles. Like, ACH was one of those guys that stuck out to me. So to be able to share a ring with him, all the respect in the world to ACH. And yeah, man, we brought the fight to each other, and that's really the kind of match that I wanted to have. I'm the kind of person that's very competitive and very I try to outdo a lot of people sometimes. Yeah. Honestly, it's just how you got to roll sometimes. Sometimes you got to work to outperform people. You just got to outwork people. But being in the ring with ACH, this is somebody that has gone to the places that I want to go. He's somebody that, again, like, he has a certain style of athleticism and just freak strength that I've always looked up to and I've always emulated. So to be able to finally get that moment with him, especially for it to come full circle, where, again, the NYWC Arena, that's the place where I had my first match 5 years ago. Yeah. In Long Island, again, like, I have family here, so for me to come back 5 years later, wrestle someone that paved the way for people like me, and to do it in my hometown with my family, my friends watching, like, it was a special moment. And honestly, like, me and ACH just beat the shit out of each other, So yeah. I loved it.
Yeah, so great. Johnny says, hi. Larry said, we stand the living shit out of Myron. So good. He's another great one. He said, a true show stealer. Absolutely. Johnny says, hey, Gab, what's your favorite match in CZW?
I'm sorry, what was that? My favorite match?
Yeah, your favorite match in CZW, he asks.
Favorite match, man. I think one that sticks out to me right away is, I believe it was me and Tristan Ty. It was Above the Rest versus Ellis Taylor and Charlie Tiger at CZW's Friday the 13th event in 2019. The name is escaping me right now, but that match, honestly, like, indie wrestling, you're just like going balls to the wall, just like going extreme. Like, that was the match that I think, to me, sticks out as my favorite match from my run there. Yeah, man, Charlie and Ellis, like, we
I guess the internet's like not that great on your end because it's like going in and out now.
Technical difficulty on me?
Yeah. I'm running smooth.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. It just like goes in and out on the Skype. I don't know. If you have anything else open, maybe you'll just like close anything else out because I got like it happens, like we said, technical difficulties.
Oh.
It's okay.
It wouldn't be a pod without some technical difficulties, right? Can you hear me now?
I
Is it
hear
working?
you. I think every once in a while it
All right.
just goes like in and out or whatever like that. So that's why I said if there's anything else open on your end, maybe just like close it out and just leave the Skype open because that could take away from your net. So it's okay. I think we're good. We're good. Don't move.
I'm gonna stay right here.
Just
I'm gonna
stand
stay- I'm
there.
not going
Leave
anywhere.
your hands up. Don't touch anything. Don't breathe. Don't move.
I'm not even gonna look in the direction of my computer right now. Just look right here.
Okay, good. No, I know it's coming out clear. It's just like every once in a while it like kind of like pulls the internet or something like that. So it kind of like skips you a little bit for a
weird.
second here and there.
So weird.
It's okay. It's okay. We're gonna power through it. So we're good. Don't.
We'll work through it.
We're gonna work through this because we're having a great time. So you guys are great. Wes is in the chat. He says, "Hey," he goes, "Kyle and Wes say hi." So awesome. Thank you. So, we're gonna talk some fun wrestling matches because forget it. We could be here all day with everything that you've been a part of. So I picked like a couple of things that I definitely wanted to talk about. So most recently, I want to talk about this because this was exciting. I want to go to Wrestling Open so bad, and it's gonna happen probably within the next like month or so. I'm gonna make it up there. So, but you made your debut there, which is such a great thing. What I like about Wrestling Open is because I'm starting to find new names that I didn't know existed, which is the whole concept of Wrestling Open, which is great. So we've had Kylon King on recently too. I found him because of Wrestling Open. So if you guys aren't watching it, definitely tune in on Thursdays at 8:00 on IWTV, Eastern time, obviously, because I'm from New York. So you got to work Ichiban. This was a great match. And I know time framed and everything, but I mean, and you worked him before clearly because was it Invictus or what was it? Oh man. Okay,
Yep.
see, I'm good. I got it. Yeah, Invictus. So, but you guys work well together, the mesh, the high flying, the great. So again, I popped at home. So tell us a little bit about your experience with Wrestling Open. Tell us about you working with Ichiban. Give us a little bit.
Yeah, of course. Wrestling and Wrestling Open, they are getting so hot right now.
Yeah.
That show is becoming one of the, if it isn't already, one of the top shows on IWTV Weekly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And again, just such a special roster over there. I've always loved wrestling for Beyond Wrestling. That's always been a place that, again, we go back 3 years when I had the tryout for Beyond Wrestling and I was picked out of all those people to wrestle on the first episode of Uncharted Territory. I was able to wrestle Matt Cross over there. Now I'm able to wrestle with my best friend, with Tristan Ties above the rest over there. And then to come in and do something different at Wrestling Open, just had a completely different feel to it, you know what I mean? Just going in as myself, just as Gabriel Skye, wrestling Ichiban, who again, he's gaining so much fire right now. And he's somebody that reminds me of, again, I talked about, indie guys of the past. He's somebody that reminds me of an El Generico. You know what I mean? So for me to have that match with him at Invictus, where we just brought the best out of each other, and we were just trying to one-up each other constantly, and then to take that to Wrestling Open and have a completely different style of match where it wasn't just about the showmanship, it wasn't just about the athleticism, but it was just about the raw, just guttural, just nitty-gritty of pro wrestling, of just work, again, just beating the shit out of a guy. You know what I mean? My whole goal is to win this match. My whole goal is to come out on top, to get paid more than the person that just lost this match.
Yeah.
So for us to step into the ring against each other that night, especially at Wrestling Open, where the fans are just probably some of the best pro wrestling fans in the world, and on IWTV no less, it was just awesome. It was just awesome. I mean, I came up short, but again, he's somebody people are going to keep talking about,
right? For
sure. And I know that he's somebody, again, that I'll eventually run into, and I look forward to that because Ichiban, he is number one. He is number one, but not when he's in there with Gabe Skye. Only that night. Or only those 2 times. Only those 2 times. That's it. Not again.
It's so great. I love it. I love, like I said, again, I love Invictus. I love Wrestling Open. It's, again, there's so many promotions. I try my best to support as much as I can. It's impossible, but I try my best. I watch a lot of stuff and a lot of promotions, a lot of wrestlers. You know, it's so great. And like you said, like one-upping each other. You know, and I feel like that mesh makes such good matches, and I'm all for it when I'm recording, when I'm at shows, and you hear my commentary, because our friend Casey Kirk, you know, she laughs at me. She goes, "You screaming in some of this, your commentary, like your reaction." I'm like, I'm invested. So I was like, I love hard and I invest hard. So, but this was so fun. I love these matches. So, but
yeah, no, we love it.
So we're going to talk NFW. Shout out to Cody. Love you very much. You guys know I love NFW very much. And I was stoked when you and Dylan McKay got to get into the ring. Everybody knows Dylan McKay is my favorite H2O kid there. I love everybody at H2O, but when it comes to H2O, Dylan McKay was the first one that I saw there. And then Shooting Star Press, all that fun stuff. I'm done. So you got to work it. You yelled at me because I cheered at him. So sorry.
Like I said, some people just don't deserve to be cheered. You know what I mean? Sorry.
That's what he said.
Sorry. That night, he just didn't deserve to be cheered. I don't know.
Well, he got it from me. Sorry, but not sorry.
Hey, no, that's all right. That's all right. You know, but I was on go mode. You know what I mean? I was on go mode, especially standing across Dylan McKay.
Yeah.
You know,
but
it was his house. It was his
yeah.
house. I'm a guest in his house, but I'm not gonna wipe my feet on the rug.
No.
I'm gonna put my feet on the couch.
No, absolutely.
Make myself at home.
Absolutely. And that's how it should be. And I tell wrestlers that all the time. Like I have fun with Azrael a lot, and he always tells me that I'm not going to stop going after your favorites. And he's like, I'm not going to make it easy. And I'm like, good, don't, because that's what I want. I want to see these matches. Those matches make it better for me. Especially, like I said, I'm very much invested. So, but again, like you and Dylan, very similar styles, you know, makes a great match. Talk to us about working Dylan. Talk to us about working NFW. Give us a little bit about that.
Yeah, again, that was just like another one of those matches where I was like, okay, we got to constantly one-up each other.
Yeah.
You know? And especially like in that building on that night, what was it, in July? It was just a hot-ass, just like sweaty night. We're going on towards the latter part of the show. It was just like, okay, like we're gonna have to try and outdo each other. And you know, I'm glad that we were able to do that, because again, like, you're one of the people that still talks about that match, and I've had other people come up to me about that match too, which is crazy too, because like again, like I'm sure he's somebody that I'll run into again down the line, especially at NFW. And NFW again, like first time I wrestled there was against Ellis,
right?
And I know we just talked about Ellis before, where me and Tristan Ty took on him and Charlie Tiger at CZW a few years ago, and again, stepping into the ring with Ellis, it's like, just two warriors, you know what I mean? Like, he's also gotten in amazing shape, and yeah, man, like stepping into the ring with him, he's evolved into such a different competitor now than the Ellis Taylor that I met a few years ago. And I say that with all due respect, because I love Ellis. But again, like each other, we're gonna beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah. We're
gonna try and again, like, one up each other, because both of us just want to be the best, you know what I mean? And to do that at NFW was really good. Thank you to Cody for letting that happen and putting that on, and to come back and wrestle Dylan McKay and have another one of those matches where we're trying to outdo each other and we're trying to get the best of each other. And again, Dylan McKay came out on top that night.
Yeah.
Respect to him. It won't happen again, though.
Good.
And,
I want to see it again. Book it again. I want the rematch.
Hey, let's do it. But yeah, man, all the respect in the world to those guys and to NFW. Shout out to Cody.
Yeah. It's also nice, like you said, even like Ellis, and to watch like where he was before, where he is now. It's amazing. And you know, like Marcus Matters has talked about it, that he's worked people in the past and, getting better and better and better as a wrestler. The styles, you guys are growing, evolving, and then it's like get back into the ring and like you're gonna one up the match that you had before. So I'd love to see all that. Let me see. There's so much going on in the chat, just so you know. I can't, you guys.
I wish I could see.
I got the chat here. So let's see. Let's go here. So where is it? Danny Tomato's into the chat now. He goes, I can't wait to slap the shit out of this guy.
Oh man, I can't wait to beat some sense into Danny DeMonto. He talks shit on Long Island. He talks shit on Long Island. You don't talk shit on my hometown and then come and try to beat me. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry, actually. I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry for what I'm gonna do to Danny DeMonto on April 23rd.
Ooh.
Not.
Ooh.
You don't talk shit about Long Island and then come to Long Island expecting to get a win over probably the best wrestler coming out of here in the last few years. That includes Danny DeMonto. Hell, I'll throw some spice on it. I don't care.
Ooh.
I'm ready.
Oh, well, damn. So, well, there you guys have it. Conrad, I see you in the chat. How are you? So Melissa says, can someone book Azrael versus Gabriel, assuming that hasn't happened yet?
It hasn't happened yet. Again, Az is one of those guys that, I respect the hell out of, because he's one of the guys from this area that paved the way for guys like me. And, yeah, I would love for that to happen.
Yeah, I think that would be really, really good. Ooh, book it. Who's gonna book it? Let's make this happen. I need to, see this. So many great people out there that I would love to see work. And then I love watching the vets work. Even like the newer ones. Like I always have that appreciation for that as well. Like there's so many different styles of wrestling that I like, and I truly appreciate all of it. So thank you for everything, entertaining the hell out of us as well. But since Melissa brought it up in the chat, she brought up, you and Azrael. So it was funny because this was going to be the next thing. I wanted to talk Pro Wrestling Magic as well. So what you actually got to meet, Melissa, and we got to see our dear friend Azalea, who we love very much. And, she's such a cutie with her little ref shirt. So maybe she'll ref one of your matches one of these days.
I would love
it. She's too cute. So another wrestler that you got to work was Desmond Cole. Oh my God. He's another one. I love him. Got to get him on the podcast real soon too, because I talk a lot about him as well. You guys, again, another match. Obviously, every match like that, I bring it up. Obviously, like I truly like. So, talk to us about that. Talk to us about your experience with Azalea. Like, these are the moments that, clearly mean a lot to you guys. They mean a lot to the kids, even the parents, again, there's so much to talk about here with this. So I'm going to let you go.
It was honestly, again, like Pro Wrestling Magic, like especially the last few months or over the last year has been a place where I've just had just banger after banger, just to put it short. First started there against Myron, and then against Dante, and then against Desmond. And like honestly, like the whole point of that match was for me to try and bring something out of Desmond.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like my goal was to just break him down. My goal is to just break him down and to really just try and sharpen his tool set, because again, he's somebody that's been knocking at the door for opportunity, and I recognize that because again, like passion recognizes passion, and I recognize when you're constantly knocking on the door and nobody's answering, sometimes you got to bust down the door. And I was happy to do that for Desmond, and to have that match with him I know that moment meant a lot to him, and it did for me too, because again, like we go way back, and especially it's just two Long Island boys, just able to do that on that platform, and then to just put on that kind of match. Honestly, I didn't expect the kind of reaction that it got, but I'm happy with it. And just to cap it all off, just a great day, just meeting Azalea.
Yeah.
That was such a special moment, you know what I mean? Like, again, like those are the moments that those are the moments to me that matter the most, because not only does it make you remember like the kind of person that you were before you started, or, you were on the other side of the barricade, to touch another person's life in such a big way, like that's bigger than you. You know what I mean? Like that's deep. You know what I mean? And it should be something that we have to think about just as human beings. Like we kind of got to do that more, especially now in the state of affairs of the world is in now. It doesn't hurt to show kindness. It's not weak to be nice to people. It's not weak to show support to people. You know what I mean? I think that's something that people really have to really acknowledge. You know what I mean? Like it's bigger than you. Everything that we do, from the ring to the matches to the social media presence, it's all bigger than you. You know what I mean? Like that's what people go home and think about. So for me to do that with Azalea, really meant a lot to me. So yeah, really great day.
I love that. I love that. Melissa said your match with Dante Leon was great too. So
Thank you. Thank you.
so good. Oh man. Hey, Sean Henderson is in the chat. He goes, "Hope you're doing great."
I love Sean Henderson. That's my guy right there.
Yeah. Oh, so I love everybody at H2O. You guys, some great matches. I mean, you worked for Sean too. You worked with Reed Walker. Like, again, another great H2O student. Again, I love all those kids. Those kids are great. But man, except that Reed always dives at me. But that's another story. But he's always diving at me, little bastard. I love you anyway. But yeah, so like Sean, we love you around here. So Sean, like, are you like gonna book him soon? Because like, let's make this happen. I don't know. I don't know. Is there anybody in your radar over there at H2O that you want to get in the ring with?
A few guys, honestly, yeah. A few guys that I've always interacted with. I've always thought their work was really, really good. Austin Luke is one of them. Very solid technical wrestler, very solid, just like in-ring grappler. And I kind of see like a little bit of like a Kyle O'Reilly in him.
Yeah.
So that would be a great match to have, especially with him over there in his house. Marcus Mathers is another guy that I've constantly shared a locker room with, that we've yet to even touch, yet to even be in a ring on a show together. He's somebody, again, that's gaining so much fire and climbing up the ranks right now, just like myself and so many of these other people that we've mentioned on the pod. Yeah. So to really have those matches with them, I feel like we really bring something out of each other, honestly.
Yeah. So that's why I said that, so like, you know, Sean could take his notepad out, like, Sean, you know, make some notes here, you know, like, and then he said that you 100% need to be in Wrestle Cup 3 this year.
Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, let's do it. I'm all for the tournament, baby. I'm all for that Wrestle Cup.
That would be good. It would be good. So I definitely want to talk about another company here. I mean, again, I'm going to talk about some other companies as well, too, but I want to talk about Violence and Suffering. So, again, another great promotion. If you're not watching it, get on it. You know, there's so many different talents that are going in. A lot of great matches. So, just some of the names that you've worked that I'm going to list here. I mean, again, it's endless. So, just some. Jordan Oliver, Grim Reaper, Ken Broadway, Lucky 13. Like, shit, this list is beautiful. Just alone, that's just some. That's not even everybody that you've worked on, you know, Violence and Suffering. But tell us some of your favorite moments
from VXS. Yeah. I've honestly, that place was just another place that, again, like, especially coming out of the pandemic, was another place that became a home to me. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Such a group of just hungry, young, talented individuals. Like, when you take a look at what the roster looked like just a year ago, and even now, you see so many of these guys that sharpen their tool set by wrestling each other and fighting against each other and having just, again, like, when you have like a pack of wolves, like everybody's hungry. Right. You know what I mean? Like, some of my favorite moments from there, having that match with Jordan Oliver, I really think that was a match that really, I think, was the first time that people kind of got wind of the work that I do, or kind of like who I am. He's another guy that we go back many years, and even still, like, every time I'm in the ring with him, like, he's one of those guys that brings the best out of me. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, if you want to talk about rivals, he's probably one of them, especially when it comes to being in the ring. Like, we bring the fight to each other, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Mm-hmm. Grim Reaper, one of my trainers, sensei to me, to have that match with him again, him on his big comeback tour, Season 2 premiere of VXS, such a special moment, such a big moment. And then last year at Lucid Dreams at WrestleMania weekend, that was a big one, you know what I mean? VXS's Mania weekend debut, to be able to do that with them, to be associated with that show, and to be also a guy that, when people come up to me, they talk to me about the work that I've done at VXS, means a lot, you know what I mean? Again, that's just only some. I mean, the match that I had with Ken Broadway at Fight Forever, mm-hmm. just two NYC kids out there just fighting to be the best, just scrapping. And again, that match with Dr. Cube that a lot of people still talk about. I think that's probably being in the ring with Dr. Cube. He's somebody that brings out a complete different side of you that I think many people don't know how to tap into. He's just violent. He's just violent. You know what I mean? Being in there with him is a fight. Being in there with him is a war.
Right.
So again, like that over there, and for people to look at it and be like, hey, like Gabe Skye from VXS, like good stuff. Like I appreciate it. I love it. So shout out to VXS.
So good. So good. Matt Awesome's in the chat. He goes, what's good, bro? Great dude. And then he said, I remember Gabe one day at BWF told me, yeah, that dude, take that suplex on the outside. Lord, was that a bad idea?
It was me. I guess it probably was me that took the suplex on the outside. Yeah, bad idea.
That was in the Bronx, like in the sports gym.
Yeah, at Daro's gym.
I've been there. I always talk about the spot with Chris Steeler and Brother Greatness, where Chris Steeler threw Brother Greatness into the pole, that big pole over there. I always that spot was ugly.
God bless his heart. Oh man. Brutal.
I love it. Tim said, just saw him in Deer Park against ACH. Good stuff. So you guys are awesome. So another company, I brought it up earlier. Let's talk Invictus. Shout out to Alex. I love you very much. You know, so again, like we talked, you know, you talked a little bit about Ken Broadway. But you know, like this was such a great match. It was funny because I saw Abs just posted, and I was at that show too. Abs just posted the clip on Instagram with you and him in the ladder match. And I saw you put the little dead sign and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it was just like perfect. I was just scrolling.
He is a hell of a character.
Yeah.
Abs.
Oh, he's great. He's so great.
Yeah, I had to do what I had to do. I'm sorry, Abs. I'm sorry. Yeah, Biggest Pro Wrestling, another great place that's again like coming up on the ranks, especially on IWTV, and booking solid talent from all over. Definitely check them out, give them a watch. Yeah. And again, like every time I've come there, I've had matches that bring something out of me, and also the opponent I'm in the ring with as well. Yeah. So for us to main event, me and Ken, to main event that last show, again, meant a lot because here we are 1 year ago in 2021 wrestling each other on Fight Forever, one of the biggest indie shows of the year ever, honestly. Right. 24 hours, who does that? Yeah, you know, so us to do that and then a year later have a rematch in Invictus in the main event. Yeah. Just, you know, again, like the common theme that I'm realizing like throughout this matches is just, you know, when we go in there, it's a battle, you know what I mean? Like we're trying to be the best, you know. Nobody wants to lose. Yeah. But there's only one man that's gonna win. Ken came out the better man that night, and you know I'm sure we're gonna have many more battles down the road. Oh, yeah. Especially as just two kids that came from the same area and you know kind of have the same values and approach when it comes to pro wrestling. Mm-hmm. I definitely think that that's gonna be in our future more as well. And then having that match with Ichiban, you know, like I was happy to be able to bring that out of him. Selfishly, I wanted that championship. I'm not going to let it happen again. But yeah. Shout out to Alex, man. He really holds it down.
Yeah. Yeah, I love Alex. He's so great. So great company. Again, watch it.
Fans over there are amazing too.
Yeah.
The fans up there are amazing too. So yeah, gotta show love.
I feel bad. I was gonna come to one of the shows, and then it snowed and like it got canceled. I was like, shit. Yeah. Because it's like it's so hard. There's only so much like time in a weekend, in a month that you can go like watch shows, and I try very hard to support as much as I can. And if I can't be there, I try to watch it on IWTV when I get a chance. So I'm sad, but I definitely miss coming to Invictus. Great atmosphere. Definitely go check it out. So hopefully I'll get back there soon to Invictus as well. So let's see what else. Okay, so let's get to business here, okay? Because this is dear to my heart. All right, and we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about the infamous bridge. All right, because this is just the love of my life with everybody. And it's funny now because I feel like now people are blaming me now. People are like, you talk so much about the perfect bridge. Now everybody's doing it. I went from like maybe seeing one or two people doing this bridge on toes, to now everybody seeing it, and now people around me are like, bridge, bridge. So now it's kind of becoming a thing more with everybody with me. And we've had people come on here and say it's hard to go into the toes. Obviously, some people it's just natural. So let's talk about how hard this is. You know, why is it the best thing ever?
Honestly, like, it's just like a form of art. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. I honestly, like, maybe you had a little bit of an influence on that on some people around here. But I don't know. Like, in terms of being difficult, I've always tried to practice my neck bridges. So, like, for me, it wasn't that hard. I just didn't always do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Until all of a sudden one day I was like, okay, I really feel like this suplex looks good. I really feel like this suplex gets people's attention. I really feel like this looks impactful. So I'm going to keep doing this. Tiger suplex is now like one of the biggest moves in my, like when it comes to matches, it's one of the biggest things that I do. Northern Light suplex, also just another one of my favorite suplexes to hit. But so many people just like, again, like, so many people have like these beautiful like bridges, and you know, I don't know what they do to perfect them, but shout out to Kylon King. He's got one of the best bridges in the game.
Oh my god!
I've been on the receiving end of that. Unfortunately, sucks, but good for him. He's got great form.
Oh my god, so beautiful. Yeah, we just talked about that with him a couple weeks ago. If you guys didn't see that episode, go back and go watch that. Like, that was instant how I fell in love with him. I was like, who is this kid? I was like, and then I just kept tweeting at him every week. And he's like, I did that bridge for you. I did that bridge for you. Nick Wayne's another one. 16 years old. This perfect bridge. It's insanity.
Yeah, phenomenon.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Like, I always say, like, Yuta is the bar when it comes to the bridge. Willa Yuta.
Yeah.
He's honestly the bar.
He's got like the perfect form when it comes to like a wrestler's like just neck bridge.
Oh my god.
Yeah, like it's like the through and through wrestlers that usually have like the best bridges. So
it's
gotta love it when you see that.
It's funny, like I said, it's really it's been coming out a lot more. People are really doing it. So shout out to Anthrax. He's been working on that. He was like, I'm giving her a bridge just for the pop. Matt Vertigo was another one. He was screaming at Pro Wrestling Magic. He's like, Tiff, I hear you like bridges, and then he popped the bridge out for me. So this is why I love wrestling. This is why. So you guys, you know, give me a little more interaction. I'm like your best friend. So Eliza in the chat, he goes, just recently discovered Gabe. Very happy to have him on Pro Wrestling Magic roster. So awesome.
Always a pleasure. Always.
Yes. So let's do another fan tweet here. We have some fun. Shout out to Good Cop, Bad Cop. Love you very much. All right, this one's fun. So he likes to do anagrams, and he gave you 2. So you're special because he doesn't really do 2. He does 1. So he goes, with Gabriel Skye being an anagram of a brisk elegy. An elegy is a reflection, often nostalgic poem. Can you give us a quick reflection to a nostalgic point of your career, perhaps your first match or your first day of training?
Ooh, yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah,
that's a good one. Nostalgic point in my career. Okay, so yeah, we'll go with first match. I remember there was a song that I used to like listen to, especially like there was a lot of songs I would listen to, like, especially like heading to training or just like watching matches. I remember like before I would go into training, sometimes I would just get there early and I would sit in the parking lot waiting for somebody to come and unlock the school, and I would just go on YouTube and just start watching just matches of people that I always wanted to emulate. Matches of like Bryan Danielson and ROH 2006. Matches of like wrestlers like Prince Devitt and Kenny Omega and New Japan 10 years ago, like 2011, 2012. So anytime I watch those matches back now, not only does it remind me of like of course like those respective wrestlers, but it reminds me of like where I've gotten a lot of like my ideas from, or a lot of things that I've tried to do. I remember my first match out here in Long Island. what was that? It was about like 5 years ago, right? Oh, this is actually a funny memory. I remember one of my trainers, Kono, for some reason, he came up to me because I guess he didn't expect like somebody like me. I looked way different than I look now. I was maybe like 30 pounds lighter, way skinnier. Not even still, I'm still working on myself, but not in any shape that I'm in now. Having like professional gear, he didn't expect me to wear that, and I just remember him coming up to me in the locker room. First time I had ever met Kono.
Mm-hmm.
He came up to me and he was like, "You look like a wrestler. Good for you." And I was like, "Wow, thank you." I was like, "Thank you." So he brought that story up to me recently, and I was like, "Oh man, like I remember that interaction, and then I remember waiting for my music to hit, standing in that building, like knowing my friends and family and people were out in the crowd, like knowing it's my first match, like I remember just like those seconds, especially like your first match or your first few matches, like those seconds before your music hits are just like such a, I don't even know what to call it. It just puts you in like a zone, just puts you in like a mode, you know? I was wearing like a windbreaker, red jacket, plain black trunks, red kick pads, elbow pads, just trying to look like a wrestler, like Kono said. So I was like, okay, like I checked that off the box. But yeah, now every time, like I even now when I hear How Soon Is Now by the Smiths, or there was a song I used to listen to a lot when I was going to training back in my early days. It was called Stop Me If You Think You've Heard This One Before by the Smiths. It reminds me of 2016. I don't know why. I have no idea why. But anytime I hear that song, it reminds me of when I first started training, coming to training with a notebook and having all these different ideas written down in different places and having matches just like written down, like, okay, I need to go home and watch this match. I need to go and study this match. Now, like, when I think about that stuff, like, it takes me back. So, yeah, great question.
Yeah, that was good. I love it. He always has some good questions. So, but he's got another anagram question. He was very excited this week because sometimes, like, depending on who comes on, either he can't give me one or, you know, he pulls teeth giving me one. So it's a staple on this podcast. So his second one was, he goes, with Gabriel Skye being an anagram of yes, bake girl, what type of cookie, sugary treat would you want me to bake for you when I see your next match live? Damn it, good cop, bad cop. Don't stir the pot. I'm not making any more cookies. I got a little pissed off in one of my last interviews.
Oh no, really? I mean, listen, if you're willing to bring some treats, I won't turn them down. Just know I will eat all of them. I will eat all of them.
Damn it, Marcus 100%. Matters. Okay. He upset me because he said that my cookies weren't memorable, and I was like, yeah, but you were scarfing them fucking down when I brought them over. And then he's like, well, that means you got to bring more. I was like, no, you can't take it back now. You put it out on the podcast, like, you're in trouble. So now I'm not bringing more cookies. So I guess I got to bring him to NFW. Oh, but he'll be there, so I got to come somewhere where he's not going to appear. I'll have to come to Long Island.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
Exactly. Trust me, I'll eat all of them. It'll just go right through me.
They're from scratch too. That's why I got insulted, because Cookie Fest I do every year, and I bake all day. And this year I spent 11 hours in my kitchen baking cookies, and I give them as gifts to people, and I brought them over to H2O for 2 days. So that's why I got pissed off. So it's not that like cut, you know, it's not the Pillsbury dough cookies. No, they're from scratch. So, bleh. But anyway, so what kind of cookies or sugary treats do you want?
What kind? Fudge brownies.
Fudge okay, brownies. I make those too. Those are good. I think Melissa, you in the chat. Are those is that, I know she liked those. I'm pretty sure I make fudge too. So that I don't bring around too often. Then
honestly, like fudge brownies, chocolate chip cookies, anything chocolate. I'm a big chocolate guy.
Okay.
Anything chocolate, trust me. I will eat it.
Oh my god, I made these hot chocolate cocoa cookies once. So it was like a double chocolate chip kind of cookie with a marshmallow that melted into the cookie with some chocolate drizzle on top of the marshmallow. like,
Sounds
yeah.
amazing.
He's like,
That
yeah.
sounds
You.
amazing, right?
He's like, you could bring those over. Well, that was a fun tweet. So fun. I love it. So,
Gotta love it.
well, it's funny because I was gonna ask you because you guys work out a lot, and you guys train a lot. So, what is your like cheat meal?
What is my cheat meal?
Yeah.
Oh boy, I am a big bacon cheeseburger guy. Big bacon cheeseburger guy. I love just a good bacon cheeseburger, right? Some fries, maybe some nuggets. Honestly, just a Wendy's 4 for $4 is good enough for me.
There you go.
That's my go-to right there. Wendy's 4 for $4 with a lemonade. You can't beat that. You really can't. So that would probably be my meal right there.
There you go. And Melissa said, "Yeah, they were good. The fudge was the best." See, I remember those were her favorites, so I'm gonna have to break brownies again. Those. There you go.
Oh, yeah.
So it's funny. I mean, I know we talked earlier about Azalea. We talk about positivity, but again, wrestling with positivity is something that I have brought and made part of the Indie Wrestling Corner, and I've been incorporating them into my interviews with everybody that comes onto this podcast, besides the projects that you guys had seen on the Indie Wrestling Corner as well. So I'm going to ask you this. Is there anything that sticks out in your mind that, whether it was something that you did for a fan, maybe a fan's done for you, maybe you've done for a wrestler, or maybe a wrestler's done for you, that sticks out that you can share with us that we wouldn't really hear about it?
Yeah, of course. So there's one specific memory that sticks out to me. A few months ago, I was at a show out in Jersey. I was just going just to support friends, just to watch. Mm-hmm. And I was there with a guest. I was there with one of my friends, and we're walking around, and there's this kid that has I guess it was Earl Gardner's collective book, and he's running around, and he's pulling my shirt, trying to get my attention, and this poor, I didn't notice. I had no idea until my friend pointed it out to me, and she was like, "There's this kid that's calling you." So I turn around, and this kid flips open the book, and he's like, "Can I get your autograph?" And there's a picture of me in it, and I was like, this poor kid has been chasing me around, asking me for an autograph, and I personalized it to him, wrote it down, and I don't know, again, it's moments like that, because I remember being that 6-year-old kid, that 8-year-old kid, just wanting to interact with my favorite wrestlers. That's one of those memories that always sticks out to me. Another one of those is I've had a fan before came up to me a few months ago. I was wrestling out in Philadelphia, and after the match, the fan actually didn't buy merch or anything, just came up to me and started conversing with me and was like, I respect what you do a lot, and I know that it can get expensive being out on the road, so here, I want you to have this. And it was a $20 Dunkin' Donuts gift card. I was like, wow, thank you, because again, I'm not somebody that looks for that kind of attention, honestly, or anything like that. I try to, sometimes I just try to remain to myself, and just because I'm just so in it, and I want to be spreading positivity to these fans and creating memories with them. Yeah. So for somebody to come over to me and be like, "Hey, I know it can get really tough on the road. Here you go. I know this will go a long way for you." It's man, that really, means a lot. Yeah. You know what I mean? Again, showing genuine human kindness is not something that should have to be looked down upon. You know what I mean? So it makes the world go round. Yeah. So, yeah, those fans interactions, especially one that I had with Azalea, those are the ones that really stick with me. You know what I mean? Those are the ones that really keep me going. So I love it. Wrestling with positivity.
Yes. I'm always pushing that. It's just so important. There's so much negative. We need to focus on the positive. So you're gonna get that here at the Indie Wrestling Corner and all the fun stuff. So love it. Thank you for sharing that. I really appreciate that. So what's some things you like to do when you're not in the squared circle?
Some things I like to do when I'm not in the squared circle. Honestly, I like to read. I like to read a lot. I just read a book a few months ago. I just finished it. It was called Self Comes to Mind by Antonio Damasio. Great book. Also read The Alchemist a little bit ago. It's one of my favorites. Reread that. Other than the boring stuff, I like to play. I like to play a lot of Nintendo Switch. I like to play a lot of Nintendo Switch. Mario Kart, Crash Bandicoot. I know we got a lot of fans out there that are into games and stuff.
Yeah.
Those are some of my favorites. Comic books have always been big for me. I just finished Batman 3 Jokers. Great book. I just saw Batman last week. It was a great movie. Those are like some of the stuff that I'm into outside of wrestling. I try to have some different interests and try to, keep myself sane and keep myself, positive and happy, just like outside the ring doing that stuff. And then again, like even when I'm not in the squared circle or even just like not around wrestling, I'm always big on like fitness. So usually like stretching for like about like 30 minutes a day or trying to find somewhere I can run. There's a lot of trails and parks around where I live. So anywhere I can find a new place to hike or I can find a new place to run or just get active and stay fit, like those are big for me too. So yeah, those are just some of the stuff I like to do outside of wrestling.
Awesome. Well, since you're a New Yorker and this is like dependent if this podcast is going to end or not right this second how you answer it. Are you a Yankee fan or are you a Mets fan?
Oh man, you can't do this to me. You can't do this to me. You can't. It's so hard. I'm sure a lot of people can relate, right? Like
he's going around
I'm sure
it.
A lot of people can relate because like it's like you have one part of the family that loves the Yankees.
Right.
Loves the Yankees. You have another side of the family that loves the Mets. But both sides hate the other team. So it's like I can't all right. I have this, right?
Oh, that's it. This podcast is over.
We'll go with the Yankees. We'll go with them.
Damn, this podcast is over now. Like, that's it. We're done. We're not advertising shit. No.
I'm a former Queens resident, so I get the love for the Mets.
That's what I'm saying.
I've probably been to Citi Field more times than I've been to Yankee Stadium, which is a good thing.
I figure it's baseball season, right? If it's some fun questions that we like to have here. So.
Oh yeah. I need to go to another baseball game.
Yes, get those cheap tickets and then pay the $20 for a beer. Like seriously, it's so crazy.
Yeah, exactly. I'll end up paying $50 for some chicken tenders and we'll call it a day.
And then you gotta go find Mr. Met and go take a pic with him, because that's what you do when you go there. You gotta go find Mr. Met.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's
exactly.
Well, I have 2 final questions for you. If anybody has anything else, please feel free. Drop this in the chat. You guys are great. So what are your goals of 2022?
2022, I would really love to win some gold this year. It's a really big goal for me. I think it's been a long time since I've held the championship, and to just be that standard bearer, and to just have one of those under my belts. Again, to me, it's a big achievement. It's a big honor, and I know not a lot of people, care for that kind of stuff. But I'm someone that's all about moments, and sometimes I can be a little sentimental. And again, all in the right place at the right time. To do right by somebody and just represent the flag somewhere for a company that is willing to do that. Be amazing. And again, just to bring home a championship to my dad's always been a big wrestling fan. He's probably one of my biggest supporters. So to show that to him would be one of those moments where it's like, hey, like your son's doing good. And then again, probably this year, I mean, I would like to go international. Honestly, I want to go global. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Japan has always been a big goal of mine. I know that with COVID precautions and the way that things are changing, hopefully something like that opens up in the near future. That's always been a big goal of mine, especially from my early days of just discovering Pro Wrestling Noah and New Japan Pro Wrestling and All Japan. All those places, again, have been big goals for me. And Mexico, even as well, as a Latino, to wrestle in Mexico or even just Puerto Rico or, just some of these places, it's lucha's ingrained in my blood, I feel, so for me to go and get that done and to, have that achievement as well would be amazing. And then also, say one more, I guess, just to show that I'm one of the best. You know what I mean? I want to prove it. You know what I mean? In any way that I can, and I'm just gonna keep doing it. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna keep making noise and just keep proving that I am one of the best, whether it's spoken or not. I'm just gonna keep proving it. So, yeah, those are just some goals for me this year.
Awesome. Looking forward to that. It's going to be great. DM Stevens in the chat. He goes, one of my favorite wrestlers out there right now. He's going to be doing big things. He goes, the way that Noah has been going, Skye would be awesome in that company right now.
So. Thank you. Yeah, I really appreciate it. Pro Wrestling Noah has always had a special place in my heart, especially, the wrestlers that I've looked up to coming out of there, Kenta, Marufuji. You go back even further, Yuji Nagata, Misawa, Kenta Kobashi, like all those guys, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Those guys created a whole new style of pro wrestling that people still emulate now, and that you see is prevalent on, on the indies and even just wrestling on television. You can see the influence everywhere. So, again, it would be a huge honor to step into that green mat.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So we're going to end this off with one final question. I like to end off my interviews off with a really positive note. So for those amateur and inspired wrestlers out there, what's a piece of advice that you would give them?
Ooh. Never stop believing in yourself. Never stop believing in yourself. Never let anyone tell you no, Always knock on the door. Always knock on the door. And if you can't, nobody's answering, then bust down the door. You know what I mean? Make some noise, But I think definitely one of the most important parts in this and just any field of work that you're in is to just believe in yourself. You know what I mean? If no one else is going to believe in you, you have to believe in yourself. And you also have to show your heart and your passion through your work. You just got to be undeniable in that way. You know what I mean? If there's something that you really have to work on, you just got to be honest with yourself. And, it's just about sharpening the tools and becoming a better athlete, becoming a better performer, just becoming a better human than the person that you were yesterday. You know what I mean? We're ever-changing creatures, honestly, as human beings. So just never stop believing in yourself would be my biggest piece of advice.
Awesome. It's great advice for those inspired wrestlers out there. So So let's talk about what we got coming up. I got a bunch of flyers here for you guys. I'm going to put it up here. So you're a busy guy. A lot of great matches, a lot of great competitors here. So, really good stuff. I'm going to try to come out Saturday night if all works out. So I definitely want to get down to the Casanova show too. So I'm going to try to make things work for that as well. But shit, and then Danny DeMonto was in the chat earlier. So talking some smack,
Hey, I'm ready. I'm ready to go to war on April 23rd.
Oof.
I'm trying to become champion. I'm not going to let anybody stop me. So, yeah.
Wow. So
got some interesting stuff coming up.
Yeah, I see that. You got Texas going on, and then the infamous Ridgefield Park with Magic. Magic's is great over there. So again, check it out, guys, if you can. IWTV streams a lot of this stuff, so definitely look out for that. Go show some support. So with that being said, tell everybody where they can follow you, buy your merch, all that fun stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Gabriel Skye _. Both handles are the same on both platforms. I've got a YouTube channel as well where I upload some of my matches and highlight videos, just Gabriel Skye. On Facebook, just Gabriel Skye as well. And then my email is fightgabeskye@gmail.com. And I think the merch, I don't know if the merch link is over there, but you can go to One Maneuver and find my store, and I have some old t-shirts on there as well. I'm working on some new merch, so no one fret. There's gonna be some new stuff on the way. I'm trying to keep that under wraps, but yeah, appreciate all the support and love from you guys as always. So thank you. I can't wait for the future.
Yeah, it's so excited. All those links, they're in the description below. If you guys I made it easier for you guys, so you can just click the links below in the description. So, but my God, I'm so excited. I can't wait to see you again live. So obviously I sit home. If I can't get to places, I watch, I tweet, all that fun stuff, So, but yeah, hopefully soon, like I said, we're going to see, hopefully I can come through Saturday night too, if all works out well. So I can come see it. I want to see Joel Bateman again. Wonderful guy. So awesome. So we love Cass. We love Cass and all his great shows. But yeah, so go get that gold. Like, let's make this happen. The year of the gold.
Yeah, let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. I'm on the road to gold, on the road to more championships, on the road to more wins, and on to more big fights. So 2022 is going to be a big year. And thank you for having me on here. And thank you for always supporting the wrestlers as always. You're like one of the most avid supporters of all these wrestlers on the scene. You know, I know you see so many different wrestlers come through the curtain each time, but you know, you're always one of the most like rowdy, like, you know, raucous ones. So
you guys know
we love that though. So thank you.
Be like me, like, yeah, be loud, be proud, have some fun. But I mean, shit, if I'm gonna pay money for a ticket, then, you know, I'm gonna be known pretty much. So
you hit the nail on the head.
Pretty much. Oh, we got another question before we get out of here. Chio says, Gabriel, are you going to have new music at the next Magic show?
No, Chio, I will not have new music at the next Magic show. I will keep using How Soon Is Now. Great question, though.
What are you doing? Stirring the pot, pretty much. No, I love it. I love it. Oh, man. Well, thank you so much for coming on here and chatting with me. It's been so much fun. Oh, God. DM Steven says the tip dive section game is on the way. Yeah, listen, don't get any ideas either, okay? Because, like, unless you are trained at H2O, like, you're not allowed to dive at me. It doesn't matter anyway.
I'll
because
try my best. No promise.
Oh, God, it's going to happen now. It doesn't even matter because they were talking about this the other day. They were like, listen, it's not just H2O because we're like, who was it? Chad Spectacular said it. He goes, I've seen you at other shows. He goes, you are the dive section. He goes, people look for you to dive at you. I was like, it's probably because, you know, I catch the wrestlers and like some people around. But
Hey, you said it, not me.
The salt. Shout out to Derek from Unsanctioned Pro too, because he was another one too that I was like, I am the dive zone. So, you know, get ready, get the drinking game. It's gonna happen. So, but with that being said, I love you guys. Thank you. You guys have been so fun in the chat. I appreciate you all. Anybody that listens to this later on, again, thank you so much for supporting the channel. I truly appreciate it. So, but with that being said, guys, you know the drill. Stay safe, support independent wrestling, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Have a good night.